Hello guys and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a classic, and it's something that I grew up with. When I was younger we used to always make tuna mayonnaise sandwiches. It was something that was very popular in my house. Whenever we had picnics or like lunch when you're kids, you have these little sandwiches, and I always remember having two flavours. One of them was Marmite, which you guys may know, it's an English thing, very hate it or love it. And the other one was tuna mayonnaise sandwiches. So I'm not going to lie, there's some part of me, obviously growing up eating tuna mayo sandwiches, there is a part of me that misses that texture and that flavour. I've been experimenting for a while now to try and replicate that flavour and texture. And it's very common to use chickpeas to accomplish that. My opinion is that the main element to a tuna mayonnaise sandwich is a good mayonnaise. Of course, the tuna's there and there is a certain subtle fishy flavour. And we are going to be using certain condiments to try and bring out that fishy flavour. And we're going to make an amazing vegan mayonnaise, which is healthier than the original mayonnaise, just as tasty, with an amazing texture, that's going to be combined and create a vegan tuna mayonnaise sandwich that you're going to love. As I was saying, the most important thing about a tuna mayonnaise sandwich is the mayonnaise. And it was a revelation for me when I discovered that you can make a super simple vegan mayonnaise at home with just two main ingredients, that being soy milk and oil. I prefer to make my own mayonnaise because the truth is that vegan mayonnaise, there are great products out there, but they're pricey. They're pricey and they come with extra waste. Sometimes they come with additional preservatives and sugars, which some of us wouldn't choose to put them in there. So it's great to make your own mayonnaise. It's also much tastier to make your own mayonnaise, especially if you've got a good recipe. So I'm happy to share this recipe with you today. I'm sure it's going to be one that you're going to keep in your home recipe book for years to come. So now we've got the vinegar inside, we're going to give it a little mix together to kind of whip it up to thicken it before we add in the oil. So don't need this anymore. So you'll notice that after whipping it, it's slightly thicker. Something the vinegar and blending it with the hand blender has gotten it to thick a little bit. That's good. So now the next step is adding in our oil bit by bit. If we add the oil in straight away, then there's a chance the mayonnaise might split. So what we're going to do, we're going to add one bit at a time, and we're going to do 1/3, then the next third, then the third third. So we're going to do it in 3 goes. So 1/3, second third, so you see it's starting to thicken up, last third, so this is the texture we've ended up with. As you can see, pretty close to the consistency, well, it's exactly the same actually as the consistency of mayonnaise. If you wanted it to be thicker, which I can't imagine you do, you could add a little bit more oil and that would make it thicker. This is the perfect consistency for a tuna salad sandwich. Okay, so we've completed the mayonnaise or the veganaise. Now we're going to move on to the chickpea tuna. So we're using cooked chickpeas. To be honest, these ones are chickpeas that I've taken out of a jar just for simplicity. Sometimes I'll cook them in the pressure cooker, but today no. And what we're going to do, we're going to mash them with a fork. So I've been mashing for a couple of minutes. and we've arrived at this consistency. So basically the chickpeas are ready when you can't see any whole chickpeas. You can't even see any halves, so it's really been mashed. So it wouldn't be tuna without a slight subtle fishy flavour. So what we're going to do, we're going to add some flakes. So these are a kind of mix of dried seaweeds, mainly wakame. If you do not have these seaweed flakes, then you can use nori instead. You can get nori and you can chop it up into small pieces and use that instead, and you'll get a subtle seaweed flavour from that. And then secondarily, we're going to add some nutritional yeast. And for those of you that don't know what nutritional yeast is, it's a very common vegan condiment that resembles cheesiness. And in this case, we're not putting it in there to give us a cheesiness, but it gives a subtle umami flavour to the tuna. Next, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt and maybe some more at the end, but that will be good for now. Some red onion. This is optional, by the way. If you're not really a fan of red onion or a strong onion taste, then you can add green onion instead, or you can go onion free, up to you. So the next part is optional. I'm going for a tuna sweetcorn, and I'm going to throw some black olives in there as well, just to give it some extra flavour. So the sweetcorn obviously adds a sweetness in there, some texture as well, and also a freshness. So after adding all the ingredients together, we're going to give it a little mix. You know what, I'm going to grab a bigger bowl because this is too small. For this quantity of chickpeas, I'm going to add half the mayonnaise in. And see how we go, but I've got the feeling it's going to be more than enough. Looking good. It's looking more and more like tuna. Taste test before the final seasonings. Black pepper. Generous amount of black pepper. I love black pepper and I do associate it with tuna. So then I'm going to add half a teaspoon more, so that's 1 teaspoon in total of Himalayan salt. Give it one final mix. Okay. Looks good. I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar in there just to, so the acidity brings out the rest of the flavours. So we've done the mayonnaise, we've made our tuna mix. It's looking good, it's tasting good at the final taste test, and it is ready to go. Now we're going to cut the bread and make a super sandwich for lunch. Yes, that's looking amazing. This is going to be great sandwich bread for sure. So now we need to cut this into slices. Few leaves, just to give it a little bit of colour. So we're going to have one sandwich that's not spicy, so that's not going to have any harissa, and the second one is going to have a little bit of harissa to give it some kick. Harissa, for those of you that don't know, is a North African chili sauce, and it is spicy. This is not for people that don't like chili sauce. This is for people that love chili sauce. amazing. It's very, very, very tuna-y. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say it's exactly the same because it's not, but that hits the tuna craving spot nicely. Guys, thank you so much for watching this recipe. I really hope you learned something new today, and I hope that this recipe serves you. If you want to access this recipe, you can also get it on my blog, which is umamiplantbased.com. See you for the next one.